On the first day of unleavened bread, the day when the Passover lamb is sacrificed, Jesus' disciples came to him and said, "Where do you want us to go to prepare the Passover for you to eat?" Jesus sent two of his disciples, saying to them, "Go into the city. There, a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Follow him, and wherever he enters, say to the owner of the house, 'The teacher asks, where's my room where I am to eat the Passover with my disciples?' He will take you to an upper room, furnished and ready. There, prepare for us." So the two went, just as Jesus had said, and they found everything just as he had said. And there they prepared the Passover meal. Now that evening, Jesus arrived with the 12, and they all took their place around the table and were eating. And Jesus said to them, "One of you will betray me, one who is eating with me." And this greatly disturbed them, so that they asked one after another, "Surely not I. Is it I?" And Jesus said, "It's one of the 12, one who is dipping bread into this bowl with me. The Son of Humanity goes as it was written of him, but woe to that man by whom the Son of Humanity is betrayed. It would be better for that one if he had never been born." While they were eating, Jesus then took bread, and he blessed it and broke it and gave it to them, saying, "Take, eat. This is my body." And then he took a cup, and after giving thanks for it, he gave it to them to drink. And they all drank of it. And Jesus then said to them, "This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many. I tell you the truth, I will never again drink fruit of the vine until that day that I drink it new in the kingdom of God." And once they had sung a hymn, they then went out to the Mount of Olives. Jesus said to them, "You will all desert me and fall away. Yes, because it is written, I will strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. But after I'm raised, I will go ahead of you to Galilee." Peter said to him, "Psst, even though they all fall away and desert you, I won't." And Jesus said to him, "Oh, I'm going to tell you the truth. This day, this very night, before the cock crows twice, you're going to deny that you even know who I am. And not just once or even twice, but 3 times." And Peter said to him vehemently, "Oh, Lord, no, even if I must die with you, I will not deny you." And they all said the same. Well, they came to the Garden of Gethsemane, and Jesus began to be very agitated and distressed. And he said to his disciples, "Remain here while I pray." And taking with him only Peter, James, and John, the brother of James, they went a little further, and Jesus said to them, "Oh, I am so full of grief, I could just die. Stay here and remain awake." And going on a little further, Jesus fell to the ground and he began to pray that if it were possible that this hour might pass him by. He said, "Oh, Abba, Father, all things are possible with you. So remove this cup from me. Oh, but not my will. No, not my will, not my will. Your will be done. And he returned and he found them sleeping. And he said to Peter, Simon, you're asleep? You couldn't remain awake just 1 hour? Stay awake and pray. Pray that you don't fall into temptation. Yes, I know the spirit is willing indeed, but the flesh is weak. And he went away again and he prayed using the same words. And he returned and again found them sleeping. I mean, their eyelids were heavy. They didn't know what to say to him. And he returned a third time and he said to them, are you still sleeping and getting your rest? Enough. The hour has come. The Son of Humanity is betrayed into human hands. Get up. Come on. Let's get going. Oh, see? My betrayer is at hand. While he was still speaking, Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, arrived with a whole crowd carrying swords and clubs that they had gotten from the chief priests and the scribes and the elders. Now, Judas, the betrayer, had given the crowd a sign saying, the one I kiss is the man. Grab hold of him, arrest him, and lead him away fully guarded. So when Judas came, immediately he went to Jesus and said, Rabbi, and they seized him and arrested him. But one standing nearby drew his sword and struck the slave of the high priest, cutting off his ear. And Jesus said, what? Have you come out as against a common bandit with swords and clubs to capture me? Day after day, I was in your presence in the temple. You could have arrested me then, but the scriptures be fulfilled. And all of them fled, deserting him. Now there was one young man wearing nothing but a linen cloth, and they grabbed hold of him, and he left the linen cloth and ran away naked. Well, they led Jesus to the high priest, and all of the chief priests and the scribes and the elders, they were all gathered around. Now they were seeking testimony against Jesus in order to kill him. But they were having a hard time, you see, because many of them were giving false testimony. They were lying. And so their testimonies didn't line up. They didn't agree. One even stood up to bear false witness against him, saying, well, we heard this man say that I will tear down the temple made with hands and in 3 days make another not made with hands. But even then, their testimonies didn't agree. Finally, the high priest himself stood up in their midst and addressed Jesus, saying, well, what is all this that these men testify against you? But Jesus, he was silent. So the high priest said to him, well, are you the Messiah, the Son of the Blessed One? And Jesus said to him, I am. And you will see the Son of Humanity seated at the right hand, coming with the clouds of glory. Now, when the high priest heard this, he tore his garments. And he said, what? We need no further witnesses. You've heard his blasphemy. What have you decided? And they all condemned him as deserving death. And they began to spit on him and to strike him and to say, prophesy, tell us who hit you, prophesy. And even the guards received him with blows. Now, while all of this was going on, Peter, who had followed Jesus at a distance, was in the courtyard warming himself along with the guards by the fire. And one of the slave girls of the high priest came into the courtyard and saw Peter. And looking at him, she said, "You also were with that Nazarene." But Peter denied it, saying, I neither know nor understand what you mean. And he got up and he went through the gateway, and the rooster crowed. The slave girl continued to look at him, and she started to say to the bystanders, "I'm telling you, that man is one of them." But again, Peter denied it. Finally, one of the bystanders spoke up and said to him, "Look, buddy, your accent gives you away. You are clearly a Galilean." And Peter began to invoke a curse upon himself and to swear, "I do not know this man of whom you speak." Immediately, while he was still speaking, the rooster crowed for the second time. And, and Peter remembered, how Jesus had said to him, "This very night before the rooster crows twice, you're going to deny that you even know who I am. Not once, not twice, but 3 times." And Peter broke down and wept.